Southeast Asia is one of the most beautiful regions on Earth. The natural beauty you can find there is incredible, and the culture of its people is truly special and amazing. But even among the incredible countries in the region of Singapore stands out. This island country is impressive, and somewhere that is worth visiting. It is one of the cleanest and most financially stable countries in the world, and that results in the crime rate being low too. One of their official languages is English, so that makes it easier for visitors to get around. It's a great place to visit, but there are some hidden gems that are great to include when planning your trip. These are the best kept secret places in Singapore. Please remember to give this video some love by hitting the like button, then subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, turn on the notifications. Then you will be notified every time we post something new. Keppel Hill Reservoir. For the adventurous and energetic tourists, visiting Keppel Hill Reservoir is something you need to do. Ever since 1954, the reservoir has been left off of official maps. It used to be used as a private reservoir and later as a swimming hole. Now it just kinda lays there and wait for people who are willing to go looking for it. It is definitely a pretty difficult hike to reach the reservoir, so it might not be for everyone. But those who are willing to put in the work, it is seriously rewarding when you reach it. It is incredibly beautiful and a quiet space for you to enjoy. Wessex Estate. For visitors interested in seeing parts of the country that are still touched by its British history, the Wessex Estate in Queenstown is the place to go. There are some colonial houses in this estate that used to be homes of British officers and soldiers. The black and white buildings are still used as residential properties, while some of them are also being used as studios. Deck. For those that have an interest in checking out the contemporary art scene in Singapore has to offer, Deck is a place that you have to visit. Situated in the city, the building is made up of storage containers that are stacked like blocks. Inside is one of the best spaces dedicated to art that you can find anywhere in the world. They focus on contemporary art and photography. Deck's focus is to help artists grow and create a love of art in the city. It's very cool to see and experience the art that they have on exhibit. Smith Marine Floating Restaurant. You can't really get fresher seafood than when you are able to get it from the source. So how about a restaurant that is situated on the water? This is a very special experience to have. You need to make a reservation to go to this restaurant, and you would also need to book the boat ride to get you to the restaurant. Floating in the waters between Paula Ubin and Changi Point Ferry Terminal, you can't just stumble upon it. You need to plan on going there. But it is worth it. The food is delicious, and the seafood really is as fresh as they promise. And for those that really want to ensure ultimate freshness, you can even go to the restaurant's pond and catch your own sea bass or snapper. But in the end, you are really going for the incredible experience. Bollywood Veggies. This organic farm out of the Kranji countryside is a must-see for anyone visiting Singapore, but especially for those that think of themselves as foodies. Just getting to the farm from urban Singapore is already an incredible experience, but the farm is also very special. You can tour the farm with its many fruit trees and wildlife and just take in nature, and you can sit beside the lotus pond and relax. You could visit the food museum to get to know the local cuisine better, but what good would it be if you couldn't experience it yourself? That's why a visit to the farm has to include a visit to the bistro on the farm. They have loads of incredible traditional dishes for you to try, and many of them are made from produce that is grown on the farm. And for those that are really passionate, you can even learn how to make some of these dishes with a class at the on-site cooking school. Istana Woodneuk. Okay, so this is one that you probably shouldn't be visiting, but it is just so interesting that I had to include it. This abandoned mansion is deep in the woods, close to Holland and Tyrosol Road areas, and it used to belong to the Sultan of Johor. Today, it's empty with only the vegetation that is taking it over. That and the supposed ghosts that live there. The mansion is supposedly haunted. Many say that the reason that it was abandoned, but if that doesn't scare you off, then maybe the law will. You get arrested for trespassing if you try to visit the mansion, so it might be safer to stick to the virtual tours that are available online. Kampong Lorong, Buangkok. If you would like a taste of what life would have been like in Singapore before the modern world took over, then this is the place to visit. Found as part of the greater Seletar neighborhood, this little village will take you back in time. The rustic homes are really pretty and great to see. There are chickens roaming the dirt paths, and the houses still have zinc roofs. And the gardens still have chilies, limes, and hibiscus plants. It is possible to tour the insides of some of these homes for a small fee, but it's important to remember that these are really their homes. It isn't just a reproduction. These people live there, so stay respectful and polite. Sadly, Sadly, we don't know how long this area will still be around to see. The area touches on a more modern urban area, so there's always danger that it could be converted into a more modern village at any time. I really hope this doesn't happen. Soek Seng 1945 Bicycle Cafe. In the northeastern part of Singapore, this little bistro has some great, tasty, and uncomplicated food on offer. But besides the great food, it is really a great experience too. The owner shows off some of his personal collection of vintage vehicles. The restaurant has a pretty interesting neighbor, Seletor Airport. So while enjoying delicious food, you can also watch private planes taking off and landing. It is a unique spot to visit. Marsiling Park. This park used to be known as Woodland Town Garden. It's a great place to visit and go for a lunch or snack. There are even great areas for kids to play. But the really hidden gem is located deep in the thick jungle, the World War II tunnel and naval base. This was a storage facility that the British used to store oil for the Air Force. This is really only for die-hard history buffs or the super adventurous. It isn't easy to reach in the first place. You need to have some serious stamina to get through the jungle to the base. And then, the entrance is tiny. The bunker and underground tunnels are super dark. So if you do still plan on going exploring the area, make sure that you're prepared with flashlights and good hiking boots. Johor Strait Lighthouse. One of the most scenic views comes from visiting the lighthouse that is located at the tip of the Raffles Marina breakwater. The lighthouse is really pretty itself, but the views you get from next to it are pretty spectacular. You can see the Tuas Second Link Bridge and watch yachts coming in and out of the marina. Strolling along the promenade with its sea breeze and beautiful views is really an incredible experience that will stay with you forever. And if you want to see some of the super luxury yachts more closely, then you could always take a stroll and look at the ones that are docked at the marina. Seng Quarry. There are a number of quarries scattered along Singapore. There was a time that mining was very prominent in Singapore, and the quarries are a reminder that has been left over from this era. One of the most beautiful quarries is the Seng Quarry. The only problem is that it is pretty hard to reach. That also means that there aren't many visitors to it, so it is pretty quiet. It's a bit of a trade-off. It is not restricted, but it is hard to reach, and if you aren't very careful and very fit, then it can be dangerous to get to it. You need to prepare for the climb that you will have to do to reach it, so make sure that your shoes aren't going to slip easily, and also take precautions against mosquitoes. But if you're willing and able to get to the quarry, there are views that will make it worth your while. It is a really beautiful area, and locals believe that the water has magical properties. Pearls Hill City Park. For those that want to enjoy nature without going to all that trouble, Pearls Hill City Park is a great spot. It's built around a reservoir on top of Pearls Hill Terrace, so the park is pretty hidden and quiet. It's a great place to visit if you want to have some quiet time between exploring the city. You could just relax or even go for a jog, but it is a really stunning place to see. Thow Kwang Pottery. If you want to really take in all the local flavor and history, this is a great place to go. It was formed by a group of local artists, and you can really be submerged in the local artistry and see the ways they create the incredible pottery that you get to see here. You might even find a great souvenir to take home to remember your time in Singapore, and you might even get the opportunity to feed the dragon, the city's last elongated kiln that is described as eating and breathing fire. It's another special little gem that is kept secret, but that can make your visit to Singapore even more special. If you do visit Singapore, make sure to visit some of the hidden gems that it has to offer. Safe travels, and thanks for watching.